is Mawadi, and today we will be talking about graduate employability and industry requirements, especially focusing on fresh diploma graduates entering the workforce. Today, I'm joined by my friends.
My name is Nur Ain Afina binti Zainal.
My name is Nurnilia Natasha binti Azamsha.
My name is Nurul Ansha binti Omar.
My name is Nurmadha binti Asili.
And all of us are currently studying in Diploma in Herbal Science and Natural Products at Tibet Marathon.
Who will be sharing their perspective as a students. We also invited a special guest from the industry who will later joining us for today's discussion. So now we will start our discussion with first section. Industry expectation for fresh diploma graduates. Before that, let's invite our guest Encik Ikwan on the line.
So I will introduce myself. My name is Ikwan Iqbal. I'm a pharmacist from Pharmacy Tasik Raban. So I've been working here for already 10 years. So since the retail shop is open since 2015, 2016. So I've been here for 10 years already.
Before we hear from the industry, I'd like to start with you guys. As a student, what do you think employees expect from a fresh diploma graduates?
From a student perspective, I think employers expect fresh diploma graduates to have a basic knowledge in the field, positive attitude, and the willingness to learn. They may not expect us to be expert yet, but they do expect to be responsible, disciplined, and able to follow instruction. Besides that, employers also value good communication skill and the ability to work in team.
Wow, I think I agree with you, Maria. Now let's hear from our guest, Encik Ikwan. What do employees usually expect from fresh diploma graduates?
So as an employer, so I place a very strong emphasis on attitude. So that's my first priority. So on attitudes, skills can be taught. So but attitude is something that comes from individuals. So I don't expect fresh diploma graduates to know everything. So because they are fresh, but I do expect them to have right mindset and willingness to learn. So for me, attitude can be seen through simple behaviors, and for example, being punctual and coming to work on time. If it is the operation hours is from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., so I expect them to cut at 8 a.m. So work on time shows responsibility, being open to feedback and willing to improve shows a good learning mindset. So I would like to see fresh diploma graduates to take initiatives such as asking questions when unsure or offering help instead of waiting for instructions. So it's also very important. So I also value candidates who are respectful, able to work well in a team, and also able to stay positive even when facing challenges. So even small things like completing tasks on time and staying committed reflect a strong work ethic. So at the end of the day, as an employer, I prefer someone with right attitude and willingness to grow. So rather than someone with skills but a poor mindset, because in the long run, so attitude determines how far someone can grow. So attitude is number one.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you feel prepared to meet this expectation, Aisha?
So far, here in Tibet Marathon, I feel like I am a bit prepared because the education here emphasis on teamwork and communication.
Interesting point, Aisha. Moving on to the next question. In Tibet Marathon, doing practical is more focused here than in theory, as in theory is with only 20% and practical with 80%. So Ain, how important is prior internship or practical experience for fresh diploma graduates?
So it's quite important, but not in the way people often think. Internship are not just about having something to put on your resume. They show that you have been exposed to real work environments. So through internship, you learn how to communicate in a professional setting, manage deadlines, and deal with unexpected challenges. Even in a short internship, can make a graduate more confident and job ready.
Oh, that's a good point, Ain. Now, I will ask our guest, Encik Ikwan, what do you think, internship or practical experience is more important for fresh diploma graduates?
So for me, I see prior internship or practical experience as an advantage. Don't see that as a requirement for fresh graduates, but it helps because it shows candidate has some exposure to real working environment and understand basic workplace expectations. So internship experience is a plus, especially during interviews. Internship. If someone has experience in internship, I will focus more on the candidates. So especially when it shows because internship experience means the candidate has exposure to a real workplace.
Thank you for answering my question, Encik Ikwan. Now, to my friend Lilia, have you had any internship experience and do you think it will help you entering the workforce?
By the way, I actually have not had any internships experience so far. However, I believe that internships is very beneficial for students as they provide exposure to the real working environment and help bridge the gap between the theory and practices. Through internships, students can actually develop many important skills such as communication, teamwork, and time management. Although I have not experienced it yet, but I am eager to participate in an internship in the future so that I can enhance my knowledge and better prepare for myself for my career.
Now to question 3. Technical skills are the foundation of the job, which are often seen as the core requirement for many jobs out there. This question is for Alicia. What do you think the level of technical competency is typically expected from diploma holders?
From my experience, it differs for each industry. For some, they might actually need a higher technical level, but for some, we might be able to meet the minimum requirements. So I would say that actually it depends on the industry.
Thank you for your insight for this question, Alicia. Now, I also want to ask Encik Ikwan, what do you think the level of technical skills to industry expert from diploma graduates?
I do not expect diploma holders to have advanced technical specialty. However, I expect them to possess a strong fundamental concept and ability to apply them in practical work, routine tasks with minimal supervision. So, employee cannot expect employers to micromanage everything, micromanage stuff. So, when we leave them we expect them to have to possess strong fundamental. So when they work, they can what we call boleh berdiri sendiri lah. So they should be familiar with essential tools, system or software relevant to the field of the works and be able to follow standard procedures accurately, consistently, and at this level, competency is more about reliability in execution rather than depth of expertise. So most importantly, I value as employers, I prefer the ability to learn quickly and adapt to new tasks and improve technical capability over time. So technical skills can be developed. And the skills can be taught, but the capacity to grow and perform consistently is what defines long-term potential for an employee.
Oh, that's how the industry expect from us as a diploma graduates. I think I agree with you, Chikwen. And now back to my friends. Can you give some example of technical skills that you think is important for you if you want to enter the workforce?
It actually depends on your field, but there are some common ones that apply to many areas. For example, basic data analysis skills like using Excel or spreadsheets are very useful, especially since many jobs involve handling data in some form. So then we also have skills like coding or programming, particularly in fields like IT, engineering, or business analytics. Tools like Python or SQL are becoming more relevant these days. In non-technical roles, there are still important technical skills. For instance, digital literacy, knowing how to use workplace tools like project management software, presentation tools, or even basic design platforms.
Moving on to the next question, question 4. Can I ask Ilya, what do you think? How do the employers evaluate if a graduate ready to work?
In my opinion, employers can evaluate a fresh graduate's readiness for work mainly through a few important areas. First, they may look at the technical skills to see if we understand the basic of our field and can apply them in real situations. Second, they can assess communication skills because being able to talk and express ideas clearly is important in any workplace. They can also consider our attitude and willingness to learn, as employee values graduates who are motivated and open to improve themselves. Lastly, internships or work experience is important because it shows that we have some exposure to real working environment. Overall, employers focus on both of our skills and our potential to grow.
Thank you, Nidia, for your opinions regarding this matter. From industry perspective, how do employers actually evaluate a fresh graduate's readiness for work? Is it mainly based on interview, or are there other methods like assessment or internship?
During interviews, because that's the first time we met with each other, with the new employees, with new candidates. So during interviews, I've interviewed many candidates. So during interviews, I assess fresh graduates' readiness mainly through their attitude, communication, and how they present themselves. So the way they answer questions shows their level of understanding, how they think, and ability to think under pressure. So I also observe their confidence, honesty, and willingness to admit what they do not know. So a candidate who is open to learning usually stand out more than someone trying to give perfect answers. So body language also is important. Punctuality, eye contact, professionalism, and also overall behavior. So give a strong indication of discipline and seriousness to work. So in addition, I pay attention to how they respond to situation or problem solving questions, as this reflects their ability to think logically and handle real workplace scenarios. So overall, the interview is not just about what they know in terms of technical abilities, but how they think, behave, and whether they show the right, most important, attitude. The right attitude to grow in the job.
Thank you, Encik Ikwan, for answering my question. Now, I want to ask you guys. Before we started working at a company or industry, we will need to go through an interview for them to assess us. So, interview can be stressful sometimes. So I want to ask, what preparation can we take before we do an interview?
In my opinion, interview can be stressful, but proper preparation can help reduce that stress. Before attending an interview, we'll show research at the company, understand the job role, and prepare answer for a common question. We shall also practice speaking confidence and dress professionally and arrive early. Most important, we need to stay calm, be honest, and show a positive attitude during the interview.
The next question. Let's talk about adaptability in the workplace. In today's fast-changing environment, how important is adaptability for fresh diploma graduates in today's industry environment? As far as we know, some people they can adapt very quickly, and some people they need to take like some time for them to adapt. So, is it important for us to adapt quickly?
So in my opinion, I actually think being able to adapt to things are necessary skill, especially to this environment where we are in a rough competition where everyone is the best of the best, and actually we have to be able to adapt easily in situations like, for example, when we encounter a situation where we need to meet a deadline, a tight deadline, so we have to make sure we meet that deadline, unless we have to use to other people. So I think being able to adapt is actually a very necessary ability.
So Alicia, you think it's important for us to adapt very quickly in today's work environment? Thank you, Alicia. Going back to our guest, from an employee's perspective, how important is adaptability when hiring fresh diploma graduates? Is it something you look for, or is it something you think that they need to adapt on their own?
So adaptability is extremely important for fresh graduates in today's industry environment. The workplace is because the workplace is constantly evolving with changes in technology, processes, and expectations. So, like myself, millennials, like me, millennials, and my childhood, there's no internet, there's no handphone. Now there's internet. There's now even smartphone. So the technology is changing very fast nowadays. So if you cannot adapt quickly, so you'll be left behind. So as an employer, I value graduates who are able to adjust quickly, to learn new skill, and remain effective in different situations. So at the early stage of the career, fresh graduates are often exposed to unfamiliar tasks and responsibilities. So those who can stay flexible, open-minded, kalau kena marah if being scolded by employers for doing mistake, tak ambil hati, steady je, and willing to step out of their comfort zone. So this kind of employee tend to perform better and grow faster. So if you are that kind of person there, lantak lah, if I do more, my salary is still the same, so be careful. So that kind of attitude will make you more demotivated to work. So we as employers look like we don't see what is happening. Actually, we really care what is happening in the company. So we see everything. Nampak je macam kita tak nampak, tapi kita nampak je. Okay. So adaptability also reflects strong attitude. So being able to accept change, respond positively to challenges, and continuously improve. So in many cases, I will prioritize a candidate who is adaptable, or one who's technically strong but resistant to change. So in today's environment, adaptability is not just an advantage but a necessity for long-term success.
So, Encik Ikwan also think the same as Alicia's answer before. Or you both think that adapting quickly in work environment, in industry environment is very important. Now back to my friends. Have you ever been in a situation where you have to adapt quickly, like in a group projects or in assignments?
Yes, I have experienced situations where both technical skills and soft skills were needed, especially during group assignments and presentations. For example, while completing a project, technical skills were important for tasks such as data analysis, preparing reports, and using the required tools or software. At the same time, soft skills like communication, teamwork, and time management were equally important to ensure a smooth collaboration among my group members. During the presentations, confidence and the ability to explain ideas clearly also played a key role. This experience showed me that both technical skills and soft skills are essentials and must be developed together to achieve better outcomes.
So you think both of the technical skills and soft skills are important for us as a first diploma graduate. So now let's ask Encik Ikwan. Encik, from an employer perspective, do you agree with Ain or do you think differently? Technical skills or soft skills, which are more important from industry expectation?
Both of them are important. But if I had to say, I would say soft skill are more important, especially for fresh graduates, because technical skills can be taught, can be teach, but with with soft skill, that soft skill is more important, so that the technical skill can be polished. So if that particular areas need strong technical, but in some special case, if that particular areas need strong technical specialty of that particular person, soft skill can sometimes be ignored. In some particular areas, maybe soft skill, maybe technical specialties needed more than soft skill, but most of the time in workplace, technical skills and soft skills must work with each other. And because technical skills can be taught and improve over time, soft skills such as attitude, communication, teamwork, and adaptability are much harder to develop. So these are the qualities that determine how well someone works with others and how they handle challenges in a real working environment. So, for example, a candidate may have a strong technical knowledge, but without the right attitude or communication skill, it becomes difficult for them to perform effectively in a team. So ultimately, for me, the most effective employees are those who have a balance 50-50, balance of both soft skill and technical skills, because technical skills can be taught, can be taught, but soft skills are the one that make the biggest difference in long-term success.
Interesting. We have a very different opinion here. I say that both of the skills are important, but Encik Ikwan said that he also said both of important, but he lean more to technical skills. So, Dila, can you give me one example of soft skill and technical skills a student should have?
So I can give one example of a soft skill is communication skill, which are important for sharing ideas and working in a team. An example of a technical skill is the ability to use specific tools or software related to our field, such as laboratory equipment or computer programs.
So, moving on to the next question. How do soft skills actually complement technical skills in a real working environment?
Soft skill complement technical skill by enabling individuals to apply their knowledge effectively in a real working environment. So having technical ability alone is not enough if a person cannot communicate ideas clearly, cannot work well with others and adapt to changing situations. So, for example, communication skill allow employees to explain technical concept, collaborate with team members, and avoid misunderstanding. So, teamwork ensures that technical tasks are completed efficiently in a group setting. So, while problem solving and adaptability help them to respond to challenges and changes. So, soft skill also influence professionalism, such as time management, so responsibility and attitude, so which directly affect the quality and consistency of technical work. So technical skills show what the person can do, while soft skills determine how well they can perform and contribute in a professional environment.
So that's how it is the situation in the workforce. That's very interesting. So, can I ask you guys, have any of you experienced a situation where both of the technical skills and soft skills are needed in a situation? Maybe in a group assignments, where you do group assignments, or when you do presentations, where someone may have a strong technical knowledge but weak communication skill and interaction skill.
I think most students can relate to this. In group projects, you often see mix of strengths, like someone who is very technically strong but struggles to communicate their ideas. So, I have seen cases where a team member had excellent technical knowledge, but they did great research on analysis, but during presentations, they could not explain their points clearly, which can affect the overall of the performance of the group. So on the other hand, there are also people who are very good at presenting and engaging the audience, but may rely on others for the technical content. So both roles are really important, but they need to be balanced. The best outcomes usually happen when team members support each other. Those with strong technical skills help build the content, while those with strong communication skills help with delivering it effectively.
To question 3, let's say someone have a very strong technical skill but weak communication and teamwork skill. Can they still succeed in today's work environment or in industry environment? What do you think, Fadila? Yes or no?
Okay, in my opinion, the answer is no. Even if someone has strong technical skill, weak communication and teamwork skill can affect their performance. In the workplace, we need to interact with colleagues, share ideas and work together. Without soft skill, it will be difficult to success in the long term.
Wow, Fadila, you say no. That's a very interesting one. What about you, Encik Kwan? Fadila say that having a strong technical skill but weak communication or teamwork skill, they can still succeed, even have that problem. But from your industry perspective, can a candidate still succeed with strong technical skills but weak soft skill? And can you please explain it in detail?
For me, candidate with strong technical skills but with soft skill may achieve short-term result, but long-term success for limited. So technical ability allows them to perform tasks, but without communication, teamwork and direct attitude, it becomes difficult to collaborate, handle feedback or adapt to workplace challenge. So in most professional environments, most work is team-based. So if someone cannot communicate effectively or work well with others, their technical strengths cannot be fully utilized. So over time, this can affect performance, relationship with other staff, and also growth opportunity. So for me, I will always prioritize someone with balanced skills and when someone with stronger soft skill and a willingness to learn. And technical skills can be developed, but soft skills are what sustain the long-term success.
So, Encik Ikwan say different from Fadila. Now, as a student, know your own worth, whether you can interact with people easily or whether you have a very good technical knowledge. So, what should you do for you to balance both of the technical and soft skill?
That's right. Being able to interact with people really well and having good technical knowledge are both aspects that we should have. So, in order for us to balance both these important skills, we actually need to monitor ourselves, just as how we learn things were in our education, even if it takes time, effort, or failures, but we still learn it. And that also goes the same way for the soft skills. So they are both just a matter of skills that needs to be honed in order for us to use it really well.
Now, we already done for question 3. Let's moving on to question 4. What are the most important soft skill employers look for in graduates? And if you had to choose one, what should it be, Alisha?
Looking at, from my perspective, I think the most important soft skills that for graduates today are probably be able to communicate, because when we want to work together as a team, we have to communicate in order to do things and making sure that it's efficient and meeting the demands.
That's a good point, Alisha. So, Alisha think that communication skill is the most important one, and what the employers expected from fresh diploma graduates. Now, let's ask Encik Wan regarding this matter. What are the most important soft skill employers look for in graduates?
Most important skill, soft skill, attitude, communication, adaptability to work, and also teamwork. So attitude is a top priority. So being able to willing to learn, so open to feedback, having a positive mindset. So this determines how fast a graduate can grow. So second, communication skill also is essential. So this can make graduates be able to express ideas clearly, listen effectively to what the manager said, the upper management said, and also can interact professionally with colleagues. Third, adaptability is very important into this adaptability. It's also very important in today's fast-changing environment, and I look for individuals who can adjust quickly, take on new tasks, and stay open to change. So lastly, teamwork is also critical. The ability to work well with others, respect different perspectives, and contribute to group goals is key in any organization. So overall, this soft skill can shape how a graduate performs, collaborates, and develops in the workplace.
Thank you, Encik Ikram, for your opinion on this question. Now, do you think students are strong in this skill, or is this something that you need to improve over time? Fadia, can you please answer my question?
My opinion, some students are already strong in this skill, especially knowledge from their study. However, many students still need to improve their soft skills such as communication, confidence, and teamwork. This is because soft skills usually require real life experience and practice. So I believe students are on the right track, but there is still room for improvement.
We almost at the end of our session with only one question remaining. Now, Nilia, are you ready? The question is, how can fresh graduates actually improve both of their technical skills and soft skills effectively?
Well, from my opinion, fresh graduates can actually improve both their technical skills and soft skills through continuous practice and real-life exposure. For example, they can enhance their technical skills by taking online courses or working on practical projects. At the same time, they can also develop soft skills such as communication, teamwork, or time management by joining group activities or internship. Besides that, I believe seeking feedback and having a willingness to learn are very important for improvement. Overall, with the consistent effort and the right attitude, fresh graduates can effectively develop both skills, which is technical skills and soft skills.
Thank you, Nida, for your opinion. Now, to Encik Ikwan, what is your opinion on this? How can fresh graduate improve both of their technical skills and soft skills?
By improving both their technical and soft skill, by taking a proactive and consistent approach to self-development. So for technical skills, they should focus on continuous learning, practicing what they have learned, seeking hands-on experience, and be open to learning new tools and systems relevant to the field of work. So applying knowledge in real tasks is key to building competencies. So for soft skill, improvement comes through experience and self-awareness. So they should actively communicate, work in teams, ask for feedback, and reflect on their performance. So be open to feedback and willing to improve is very essential. So they should they should also take initiative, voluntary for tasks. So tak adalah buat kerja dia je. So also volunteer for other tasks. So stepping out from their comfort zone and learning how to handle workplace situations. So ultimately, consistent effort, the right attitude, and willingness to learn, and will help fresh graduates develop both technical and soft skills effectively over time.
So, everyone, like how I said earlier, in Tibet Maralagong, we spend more time in lab than in classes doing theory. So, let's hear from everyone here. Maybe each of you can share one practical tips that can be shared to the audience out there. Maybe they can take notes on it so they can get ready when they want to enter the workforce.
For me, as we actively participating in lab work and group discussions, we can actually improve both skills effectively through practical work in the lab, where they not only apply hands-on technical knowledge, but also develop communication and teamwork skills at the same time.